Hello, hello. The end of the season will be here before you know it, Robert. The season goes by fast for me every single year. We'll blink and it'll be December. But what a week one it was. A lot of surprises all around the country and in the ACC. Boy, oh boy, man, Florida State. Two weeks ago, they were picked to win the ACC. Now they're out of it. I mean, for all intents and purposes, they're out of it. The problems they have can't really be fixed in a matter of weeks. Yeah, that should be their goal, and they might not. We'll get the show started here in just a few short minutes, waiting on my co-host to join the show. Of course, we'll talk about some of the games last week, and of course, all of the games that are coming up this week. It's week 2, so there's a lot of not very good matchups, but there are some good ones in there. And some interesting ones. No, I have not done fantasy football in the last 2 years. It takes too much of my time, honestly. I mean, I think it's fun and everything. It just takes too much of my time. There's our Miami Hurricane buddy, Slim Shady Canes. Looks like, I don't want to overreact way too early, but it's only been 1 week. But after 1 week, it looks like the ACC championship is going to run through Miami, Florida. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? Based on what you've seen so far? Yeah, tough game. As bad as Clemson looked in the second half of that game, ironically enough, they're still not out of the ACC conversation. Which really right now should be their goal, is to get to Charlotte in December. That's their only goal right now. What's up, Brett? If I had to pick right now, that would be my pick, but there's a couple of other teams still in the conversation. Clemson and Georgia Tech don't play in the regular season. They do play. Clemson does play Louisville, though. And NC State. As bad as they looked. And their win. All right, I'm going to get the show started here in just a second. Sea-Dog's still not here, but the show must go on. I'm sure he'll show up here in a minute. All right. Let's turn this music off. Let's get this thing started. What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the ACC show with me and my co-host, Sea-Dog, who's not here yet. Hopefully he'll show up here in a second. But boy, there's a lot to talk about. Including the game last night. I think everybody was sort of sitting around wondering if the game in Ireland, week 0, between Georgia Tech and Florida State was some sort of a fluke. I even heard I don't know if it was their coach or somebody else said they suffered from making excuses for their loss to Georgia Tech instead of giving Georgia Tech credit. But we're waiting around to see if Florida State was going to bounce back at home against Boston College. And my thoughts originally going into that game, first of all, I bet on Boston College, not knowing anything about how they were going to look, more about the matchup, because I knew that Boston College had a pretty tough defense, and more importantly, they had a quarterback just like Georgia Tech who could kill you with his legs, and that seemed to be their biggest problem in Ireland. And boy, oh boy, not only did that happen, I mean, a lot of the blame is going on DJ. I mean, look, DJ looks fucking he looks worse than he did it 2 years at Clemson and his year at Oregon State. He looks like he's gone the wrong way. But honestly, it's not all his fault. I mean, he played terrible, but the biggest shock is the Florida State defense. This is 2 games now where they have just got completely manhandled on both sides of both lines of scrimmage. And so that's the real shocking thing to me, because they were supposed to have one of the best defensive lines in all of college football, not just in the ACC. And that has turned out to be a complete lie after just 2 weeks. And starting 0-2 with 2 ACC losses in a row, that's a death nail to that team and that program. What I want to see is, are they going to give up? Actually, I think they will, because they started to give up last night, didn't they? I mean, they were giving up before the game was even over. And the other question is, will Mike Norvell bench DJ? I think they have a 4 or 5 star hotshot freshman quarterback on the bench. I mean, at what point do you just give him some reps? I mean, it's really the most shocking thing all season so far in the ACC. I mean, obviously we could talk about a lot of these other games where teams either struggled or looked bad or lost, like in the case of Virginia Tech losing to Vanderbilt the way that they lost to them. NC State looked pedestrian for the first half, finally turned it on late in the game there to get a win over Western Carolina. But the real story so far this season in the ACC is obviously Miami. Looks like the most complete team after 1 week. and Georgia Tech. Now, Louisville quietly won handily. It looked good doing it. C-Dog just texted me, said he's going to be a little late for the show. All right. We'll see you when you get here. Let's see who we do have in here real quick, and then we'll get right to the panel. Who do we have in here today? Goose Sports is here. Matt Dummett, Robert, Deion Sanders, CJ, Mr. Brown, Rec Talk. I'm assuming Rec went to the game a couple of days ago. Michael DeHart, Millis Vanillis, Deion Sanders, Talk is Pitt, Ultra Magadog, The Nature Boy, Frothy Tavern. If Clemson gets its head on straight, they could play Miami in the ACC Championship. We'll talk about Clemson for sure. Out of all these teams, they're probably the hardest to judge right now because of who they played and their schedule going forward. Sid Irish, Senor Dog, Nate the Great, Stingray, Brett Rockamore, I think is how you say it. Good evening to you too, sir. Harry Leg, Roll Tide 99, Bulldog Brian, Momo. There's Momo, Florida State man showing up. Look at he's not scared to show up after a couple of losses. I know he's got to be extremely disappointed and also worried about what's going on in Tallahassee. But yet he still is here. Wahoo Brad, SEC Dog. Florida State has zero running game. Nothing to help DJ. Yeah, well that's true too. I mean, I'm if you try to sit back and think about what Florida State is good at, even when in a loss or two losses in this case, you can really go down the line and say, well, there's still these good things we can build off of. I can't think of a good thing that they have shown us in two games at all. No run game, no pass game. Defense is awful. Offensive line's no good. I don't even know where to begin with them. Jeremy Garland, Rob Ellen. I don't like Bill O'Brien after getting rid of D-Hop in Houston, but damn, he coached a great game. Well, that was a perfect hire for Boston College. Bill O'Brien's a perfect fit for that type of program. Sam Bell, the Gamecock grind with a Rooster. What's up, Rooster man? Meaty Okra. Boy, you just described almost the entire ACC. Meaty Okra. Bill Valentine, Space Mountain. Spank Mapleton, Young Pablo, what's up? All right, let's see. Let's bring some ACC folk on here. Oh, there's C-Dog. C-Dog is here.
Sorry, I texted you.
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. I just went through the preliminary rehash of some of the highlights of week one. But again, we'll talk about it plenty more here over the next hour and a half or so. Slim Shady Canes and Rec Talk, welcome to the show.
What's going on? Can I show you something, Pete?
Yeah.
You see this? That looks better than Florida State's defense. It's more palatable. More people would watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think, dude. I was kind of distraught after that game because it's you're right. There's nothing you can point to that they could build on. And after we beat them, I did a video and said, I got to see us play more football because I think Florida State might not be that good because we held them to 38 yards rushing minus a drive. They get held to 21 an entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, this is awful.
And for now, as a Georgia Tech fan, I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, Boston College beat them way worse than you did.
Emotional.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the stream, so it was it was kind of took the wind out of our sails a little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I thought I was thinking this and that about we were pretty good and we were one of the best teams in the conference. Now I'm like, geez, It's
how quick the tides turn. I mean, just a few weeks ago, not only was the national perspective about Florida State extremely high based on what they did last year, but Mike Norvell was being talked about as one of the best coaches in college football, and here we are 2 weeks later And I'm seeing Florida State fans tweet out about his buyout, which is, by the way, if he gets
$70 million.
No, it's a lot less than that if he gets fired next year. They would have to keep him this year probably. But 2025, it goes down significantly. Oh, I mean, by a lot.
Well, it runs through 2031, and he's averaging like 10.5 a year on it.
Right. Yeah, he continues to get raises from now until 2030 or 31 or whatever it is, but his buyout goes down significantly each year between now and then.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but
I think it's ridiculous to talk about firing him.
I mean, I would say so too. But have we ever seen a team that went 13-0, won their conference in a Power 4, Power 5 conference, whatever, and then look this bad the very next season just to start out the first two games?
Ed Orgeron did it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I guess that's
He
true.
wasn't this bad.
I don't know if he was that bad, though.
Yeah, like he won, he beat decent teams. Like they're setting records. Not the kind they want, but I mean, have you ever seen a team held to 21 yards rushing that's a Power 4 or Power 5 team? Ever?
I mean, yeah, very rarely.
I couldn't name one off the top of my head.
I mean, I couldn't tell you either. I know it has happened, it's just infrequent. But how long is the leash? Because Norvell's got to do something. I mean, he's got to do something, right? So, I mean, just to even if it doesn't work, he's got to appear like he's trying to fix things here. So how long is the leash on DJ? I mean, he went out and got him out of the transfer portal. I'm sure he promised him the world. And this is the showing we're getting from him in the first 2 weeks. Now, again, I don't think it's all DJ's fault. I mean, the whole team is bad. But how long before Norvell puts him on the bench?
I don't even know if that's the question. I think he's got to prevent the team from totally quitting on him. Like I'd said in a video, this could be the first time that I've seen like a mid-season opt-out from players. Like I think it's that bad.
Well, now that he's got all those players through the transfer portal to build this team, they're all going to hit the road.
Well, look, mid-season is gracious. We're not even near the mid-season.
Well, right. That's what I think. That's what he's saying. Though he's saying by mid-season there might be a mass exodus.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember ever seeing something this bad, this soon.
Look, the real everybody should have seen this coming, right? This is DJ. We saw it. We've seen it. We know it, and they didn't see it. What? How is that possible? That's all I'm asking.
Well, I think people saw them taking a step back. I don't think anyone saw this, though. Like, offensive line's awful. Entire defense is awful. Like, people knew DJ was going to struggle. People didn't think this was going to happen, though, right?
I didn't. No, and I was with you. I was one of the ones warning the Florida State people about, be cautious about being high on DJ. He just needs to manage the team and not make mistakes if they want to be successful. Well, it was way worse than I thought. I mean, he has no help either.
How do you have a left side of the offensive line look like dog shit? And look, Clemson, I can tell you this from experience. So
the thing that blows my mind about DJ is the fact that his fundamentals, like even just I'm not even any sort of fucking expert, right? But I can still see the fundamentals, the footwork, mainly his pocket awareness. It hasn't improved one iota in 4 years, not one.
Nope.
With 3 different coaches.
Nope.
So I mean, I don't know if he's just not good at taking instruction or if he's not being taught the fundamentals.
He needs a new career.
Well, he's going to have one.
Like, the one thing you've got to have in today's college football is a quarterback that's got enough agility to extend a play with his legs. Any pressure he gets, like, he's not going to be able to do that.
No, he's slow.
It's done. I mean, he look. Poor. Look. If it was the only problem, he is a problem. He isn't the only problem.
No, but if you watch the way he passes too, he's always throwing off his back foot, off balance,
off platform.
He's completely upper body when he passes, and I think that's because he got away with that in high school because he was so much bigger than everybody else, and he has a strong arm. But that's the reason he's so inconsistent and inaccurate is just He looks like he's playing backyard football or something. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, he took points off the board. That one player, that guy was wide open. He had to dig off the outside, and the slot receiver ran a corner to the back pylon. He just threw it.
Yeah, he threw it out of the end zone.
Way off.
He was wide open, too.
Both defenders took the dig. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah. The one
Loft it in there, let him have it.
I forget how many interceptions he had, but the one interception I remember clearly, right around the 50-yard line. I mean, there was nobody. I don't know who he was throwing it to. And the guy returned it all the way down to like the 5-yard line or something. But yeah, they're a complete mess, and it doesn't get any easier. They still have to play Clemson. They still have to play Notre Dame. They still have to play Miami.
Clemson, listen, let's be honest.
They got to play Miami.
Clemson's going to be easy.
You think Clemson's going to be easy for them?
Yes.
You got to be kidding me.
That's insane.
Clemson
will beat them by 40 points.
Listen, just get me started on Clemson. These people have to stop. This Clemson people have to stop. We're trash.
Yeah, I don't think they're as bad as you think they are.
In the country, man, and struggled, yeah, but that's not your Florida State.
34-3. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we saw the game. I don't think they're as bad as everybody thinks they are. Now, they're not as good as I thought they were going to be either, but there's a happy medium between the two. I want you to name 3 teams in the ACC right now who do you think are better than Clemson after 1 week. I mean, it's a small sample size. Miami, I'll give you that.
Louisville. NC State, Miami, and Louisville.
What'd you see out of NC State that impressed you? They played Western Carolina, and it came down to the fourth quarter.
NC State wasn't going to show nothing to them, but they didn't.
They're hiding their offense now?
No, they didn't struggle, though.
Yeah, they did.
They about took an L.
Yeah.
No, they did not.
They opened it up in the fourth quarter, but for 3 quarters, they definitely – it was tied going into the fourth quarter, wasn't it?
No, well, yeah, they were 3 points, I think.
So – yeah, NC State doesn't scare me. Louisville looked good. See, a lot of these teams play bad teams. Clemson played the best team in the country right now.
Miami looks real good. They look.
And a lot of Clemson's problems are actually fixable. I mean, the quarterback isn't fixable, but he's manageable. But some of the other mistakes they made in that game are fixable. They're not Florida State type problems that Clemson has.
I think Cade's well into above average. I do believe that. But some of these damn receivers, man. He throws the ball to you on time, hits you in the hands, and you don't catch it. Then he can't throw it long. That's the problem. He cannot throw it deep. He cannot. But he does get the ball to people. And the receivers quit on the route.
He made a couple of bad passes. Like the first pass to start the game.
Yeah.
He threw it in the dirt. That could have been that would have been a 20-yard play probably at least. He just missed Moffitt. That was a bad pass. Late in the fourth quarter when they were getting blown out and he was trying to fucking play cowboy and just throw up 50-50 balls, he got an interception and he threw a couple of bad. But for the majority of the game, he didn't play terrible.
No, I don't disagree. Cade played good. I mean, decent. Above average. Well above average.
He played better in that game than I thought he was going to, quite honestly.
Yes, sir.
He didn't put the ball on the ground.
Hater.
He didn't really put the ball in any sort of trouble.
No.
Georgia was just a better team, and that's just all there is to it.
No, I don't disagree. Georgia is a better team, and will for a while will still be a better team.
But if you're talking about the ACC, I think the only team that would be favored in a neutral site would be Miami. If I'm just being as unbiased as possible.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, there's not very many weaknesses on that team that I could see. They are actually loaded at every level.
Yeah, Miami's good.
Yeah, they're really good.
But that's the only one that I think would be favored in a neutral site.
Louisville, don't know about that. Louisville's pretty damn good too. I mean, we haven't seen them a lot because nobody wants to show them on TV for some reason. But they're really good.
I don't know that Louisville will be favored against Clemson.
I don't think they would. They also had some bad injuries.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Oh, was that Rec? You said they had some bad injuries?
I think their best wide receiver went down, right? Or linebacker. I mean, a big playmaker for them is out for the season. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's bad news because they're not real deep. I mean, they might be good first-string team, but they're not real deep. Virginia Tech, forget about it. They got absolutely manhandled by Vanderbilt.
How in the hell do you let Vanderbilt beat you?
I don't know. That's the Turkeys.
Yeah.
Well, that's almost say after this Appalachia State game.
Hey Pete.
How in the hell do you let them beat you?
So I'm actually working on the graphics still. Graphics guy quit on me, and we're a little behind on that. But if you want to, just hang on. Well, if you want to start going down the list, I've got them all out, and then I can send you the graphic, and I'll send you next week's games too.
Are you talking about for the week 2 games?
Yeah, and I can just tell you. Yeah, well, yeah, week 1 and 2. But I can just tell you if you want to go down the list, I've got them all right here. If you want to start, I've got them all in order of what they are played and who was at. So, did you want to? That's kind of how we did it last year.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start.
Right? So, do you want to do first of all on here is North Carolina at Minnesota?
Yes.
Me and Rec Talk streamed that game.
Yeah, I did as well. So that game was in Minnesota, and it was sloppy. Honestly, neither team looked very good. I wasn't very impressed with North Carolina at all in that game. They got away with the W there with the missed field goal. What was that?
Lefty kicker, dude.
Like a 30-yard field goal or whatever. It was a short field goal, and so they escaped.
Max Johnson.
Yeah,
He's done for the season.
he's done for this. He broke his leg. Yeah, and.
Yeah.
To be honest, he wasn't playing very good in that game when he did get hurt, and the quarterback that came in behind him actually probably saved the game for him. He played better than Max did.
He played well, and that took all the wind out of me and Sea-Dog sales because obviously we're trying to goof on Jeff Collins, and then once that happened, it really wasn't fun anymore.
Max Johnson is another one like DJ. Like, don't we know what this guy is at this point?
He's left-handed, I know that.
What's wrong with that? I'm left-handed.
Well, they had a lefty kicker and missed 2 kicks. That's the whole problem in that game.
Left-handers are witches. You know that. They're all witches.
Yeah, right.
There's something bad wrong with it, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Paul, go back to sleep in your wheelbarrow.
Stop. Yeah.
I'm left-handed, motherfucker.
But seriously, there's nothing that
My mom is left-handed, by the way.
there's really nothing that North Carolina did in that game that really impressed me. I mean, I can't point to one thing in particular. I mean, they offensively they looked absolutely awful.
Well, their season win total is 7.5, and they have a soft schedule, and now I see why.
We had them at 6-6, and that seems way more likely after seeing them against Minnesota.
That's right. We did have it.
Yeah, North Carolina's in trouble. They ain't got nothing.
All right. Yeah, I'll bring Sam on. Sorry, Sam.
How bad is the ACC really? I mean, let's keep going, but I mean, in general, that's kind of the theme here. How bad?
It's not. If you want to talk about marquee matchups, the SEC got shit all over.
Just let me know if you want to when you're ready to move on to the next game.
I mean, unless anybody else has anything about North Carolina, Minnesota, I think we can move on.
What about Tennessee versus North Carolina State, Pigskin Peete? What about that game?
NC State and Western Carolina.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
NC State and Tennessee in Charlotte. We got.
We're still doing last week. We'll get to next week here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Well, NC State, Western Carolina is the next game.
We already kind of talked about that. I mean, I've already said what I had to say. I wasn't impressed at all by NC State.
I bet you enjoyed that game a lot.
I did. Now like I said, they pulled away in the fourth quarter, but they gave them all they could handle. They just looked. I don't know if it was just one of those week 1 situations and they'll get their shit together, but they couldn't tackle. Their offense looked pedestrian. I mean, they were getting pushed around by Western Carolina for the majority of that game.
That was freaking ridiculous, dude.
At least offensively, like Grayson McCall seemed to be making the right reads. It just seems like his timing was still a little.
His throws were so inaccurate. He was missing. He was overthrowing. He was leading them too much. He was throwing it behind him. He was throwing it at the dirt. It was pitiful.
That's what I mean. Like it seems like the timing was off. And their running backs had butterfingers. Jesus.
Yeah, they were just they were hard to watch. I mean, it wasn't hard for me to watch, but it was hard to watch. It was bad football.
Yeah, it was.
Unexpected.
Well, okay. After that is, a couple shitter games. North Carolina A&T at Wake Forest.
No.
Okay, Elon at Duke.
No.
All right. Stanford at TCU. Anybody watch that?
No, I did not.
I
Nobody?
know Stanford was giving TCU all they wanted.
Yeah, they only won by, 6 points, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I forgot to bet that because I was going to bet that game. I was going to take TCU at 9 points.
Shout out Stanford putting on a show.
I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Boy, the Stanford fans don't care about football over there anymore, do they? Did y'all see that stadium?
Ugh.
There was like 20 people there.
Weren't there 16 people in there?
Yeah, there was nobody there.
It's Stanford. They're like Cal. They're all out protesting something.
I know, but if you look 10 years ago, though, like they actually
protest playing that other team.
They had a lot of fan support under David Shaw. It looks like that's going away. Maybe they're just mad they're in the ACC now or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm in the ACC, but that's a whole other issue.
I don't know why you are.
Well, because it's the ACC. You suck. We're gonna get there in a minute. Keep moving.
After that, Clemson versus Georgia.
Clemson versus Georgia. All right.
I watched this game. Clemson looked good in the first half, but Georgia just stopped you, Clemson, because Clemson, you couldn't run the ball because Georgia just stopped you every time.
Well, they didn't try to run the ball, Sam.
We couldn't do shit. Not even run it. We couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I disagree.
What did we do that was good?
Maffa had 6 carries in the first half. 6.
Yeah, that's something that stuck out to me. I've never seen Dabo just abandon the run like that.
Yeah, and he was averaging over 4 yards a carry in the first half. I think he finished the game with like 3.5 yards per carry, but that was late in the fourth quarter they pretty much shut down Clemson's offense completely. But you can't go in there and just throw the ball all over the yard with no threat of running against a team like Georgia and expect to be successful. I mean, they were just teeing off on Klubnik in the second half because there was no threat of a run at all. And they had they put 2 other running backs in, I think, in the fourth quarter. They each carried the ball 1 time. One got 6 yards and one got like 7 yards, so that's good. But I mean, they did not commit to the run before the game. They were calling it instead of the air raid, they're calling it the dirt raid. That was going to be their strategy. We're gonna pound the rock. This needed to be the strategy going into the game, is to wear the clock down and keep Carson Beck and that Georgia offense off the field, and they just didn't do that. Hell, the first series of the game, they didn't throw it once.
No, they did not.
I mean, they didn't run it once. All they did was throw it.
But the real problem was we didn't have balance. And you can't run it 100%, with Georgia. They're going to shut it down. They put people in the box. That's why they went to the pass.
But you have to make them respect the threat of the run. You have to.
You did. Well, we did. We ran 6 times. Well, we did. We
6 times?
6 times is not enough.
No.
No, we ran him more than that in the game.
No, 6 times, 16 overall, 6 times in the first half. That's what they ran them.
16 rushes in a football game that's lunacy.
Yeah, and I think Maffa himself only had 14 carries in the game. 14.
I sent you the graphic.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about that. And I'll have the week 2 one there shortly.
It's what's really frustrating. I'll be honest with you, is that they didn't do anything aggressive in the game. Clemson did nothing aggressive in that game.
Oh, well, defensively they did.
Huh?
I'm about to say they were aggressive in passing the ball a lot.
Well, they were aggressive in passing the ball, and they were also aggressive at getting after Carson Beck. I mean, the defensive line for Clemson was getting a lot of penetration against that Georgia offensive line.
In the first half.
The first 3 quarters.
That D-line, that front 7 is good. There are problems in that secondary.
Yeah, there
are problems everywhere. I mean, the secondary, the offensive line, but the offensive line did better than they used to.
Offensive line played.
The offensive line's better.
Yes,
if you
it
want
is
to point
better.
to Clemson's two biggest problems, it's secondary and wide receiver. Your wide receivers are still on a milk carton.
And Cade to some extent. I mean, he still gets happy feet. He needs to stop doing that. But yeah, wide receivers got to catch, and they got to run routes, and they got to stay on the route. Giving up on a long route is not good.
Well,
they did. I mean, I saw two of them.
they should have played Georgia closer than they did. Georgia's still a better team, and they were going to win the game no matter what. But they should not have lost by 27 points or whatever it was.
No, that was ridiculous.
Well, and you have to point to what Dabo said, and you alluded to it in your State of the Fan. Teams take on the mentality of their coach, and when the coach says the scoreboard don't matter.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That was insane.
Bullshit.
That was nuts.
The scoreboard is the only thing that matters.
And the fact that they only ran it 16 times, that I wonder if Dabo just was already like conceding that game before it started and saying, you know what, we're going to lose this game anyway, so let's try to keep our guys healthy for the ACC games.
Yeah,
especially Malfa.
Yeah, probably. And that's the biggest problem.
But see, if that's the case, that's not good.
No,
that's not good at all.
It's not good. You're right.
Y'all gonna have to. There's gonna be a black screen here for a minute. Y'all gonna have to bear with me.
Hey, by the way, Slim.
Let me try this. Actually,
Miami. We're getting there soon. But Miami's good, and we knew they were gonna be good. By the way, but they proved it in the first game, and they're playing like a real team now. They're good. They're good. I'm hoping that Clemson can hold on, because they're going to come into the ACC championship. And Clemson, if we can recorrect the problem, I don't know. We'll see this weekend. If we can get down the road and get to the ACC championship, Miami's going to be there.
I'm kind of with Pete, though. I mean, find 2 conference losses on there. Good luck.
For who?
I mean, outside of
who?
For Clemson.
Dude, Louisville. Well, I don't know. They don't play Louisville, though.
I thought you did play Louisville.
we do. We play them at home.
Yeah, home.
There you go.
But NC State, that's another one.
All right, where are we at now? Sorry, I was doing this graphic thing here.
What's it got?
We were just at. We left off at Clemson and Georgia. We were talking about that.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of Louisville. They had a big win. What was the score of that game? It wasn't close from the get-go as far as I remember. I didn't see the game.
It was like 60 to nothing.
Yeah, they blew them out. Yeah. It's hard to tell you their opponent was no good, but still they did what they had to do.
Right. Well, that's all you can ask with a bad opponent like that is, handle business like they did.
Yeah.
Momo thinks it's going to be FSU and Louisville in the ACC championship.
No, he doesn't think that.
Nah, he's full of nonsense.
Georgia Tech's going to be in there.
Maybe. Hey, I ain't going to look.
We'll get to that.
On you guys. No.
We'll get into that.
Graphics guy messed up again. He has week 2 games here. This is week 1 games.
Oh my God.
Fucking
Hey,
graphics guy.
C-Dog, I'm not going to diss on.
Whatever this graphics guy is getting paid, it needs to be cut.
I'm not going to diss on G-Tech, and I'm not going to diss on Boston College. Those 2 teams look good, man.
Everybody's going to look good against Florida State this year, I'm afraid.
All right, moving on to Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt. I didn't see any of this game. Did any of you?
I did.
Yeah. It sucked,
No, I didn't
man.
flip the
Virginia Tech looked like ass.
Yeah, I watched almost the whole thing.
Did they ever have the lead at any point in that game?
No.
Yeah. I think they did at one point.
One half of a minute.
Yeah, towards the end of the game. They come roaring back in the second half. I'll give them that.
They started a comeback and then actually took the lead, but then let Vandy tie it up, and then they went into overtime.
Yeah.
And lost.
All right. Well, that was one of the worst losses in the ACC all week. I mean, I guess you could say Clemson too because of the way they lost, but that was Clemson played the best team in the SEC. Virginia Tech played the worst one. So, I mean.
Now, I will say Vanderbilt didn't look like. I mean, they might not be the horrible Vanderbilt. They may get a conference win or two this year because they didn't look like just completely like unable to do the simplest things like a bad team usually does. They looked okay.
Vandy looked okay. I mean, they really looked good, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not good. Who would win?
Drones went down too at the end of the game.
Well, compared to normal Vandy.
Well, listen, they look better than Clemson. Let's be honest. They played a lot better than we did. They were very fundamental. They did a lot of good shit. I mean, we did okay, but we weren't good. We were not good.
I can't believe you're comparing their opponent to Georgia. I mean, that's just silly.
No, and
I
look,
think
I'm not
Humphrey-Billy's
comparing your
cheese is lit off
opponent.
his
I'm
cracker.
saying when you play football, play fundamental football. Block the people you need to block. Do the plays you need to do. Hit the passes you need to hit. Run the ball the way you need to run it. Vandy did that. Now the opponent, I get it. Georgia's a fucking 34-3. You don't lose that much unless you just suck. I'm sorry.
But you also have to figure, Humphrey-Billy had a little bit worse experience because he got to watch that ass whooping live.
I can't tell you.
That's true.
Off that made me. These
in between two Georgia fans, mind you, as well.
34-3. Stop.
So I think he's got PTSD, man, for real.
Dude, you have no idea.
I do have an idea.
But Vandy was doing all the right things, and
you realize
they won the
Georgia,
game, which is amazing to me.
Think about this: Georgia's beat the last two ACC champs 99-6.
Yeah, think about this: Florida State's lost 3 games in a row.
They suck too. I mean, and Clemson's about to say, "Hold my beer" on this Appalachian State game to FSU.
Yeah, however, Billy Paul thinks App State's going to win that game. This guy has gone completely off the deep end.
What? Just hang on. It'll be ugly, man.
Yeah. All right. Pitt took care of business against who's that? Kent State.
Yeah, the Golden Flashes.
Yeah. Speaking of that, here's our boy. Speaking of Pitt, what's up, Talk is Pitt?
Not much. How are y'all doing?
You were at the game, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I saw you tweet that out.
Yeah, I found myself on TV towards the end of the fourth quarter.
So, what was your takeaway? What was your takeaway of the game? Anything you were happy about, pissed off about?
Missed tackles seem to still be a little bit of an issue, although they weren't as prevalent as last year. But Eli Holstein, holy crap. He's better than Kenny Pickett could ever be.
Hold on now. Whoa. You're starting to sound like Paul now. You're going off the deep end too, I think, buddy.
Oh, my
No,
Lord.
it's the thing, though. Kenny Pickett, in his college career, it took him God knows how many years just to even do what he did. And I'm not gonna try to hold that against him too much, but he couldn't make the throws that Eli Holstein was just making. And I mean, the type of throws that normally would get picked off, and Eli Holstein's just threading them in there. And I even said before, though, watch Eli Holstein take the starting job away from Nate Yarnell, and that's exactly what happened.
Hey, you do realize that you played Kent State.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your point is?
Well, I mean, you just said that he's better than Kenny Pickett ever thought he could be.
Listen to me. The guy could play any dumbass bitch that they played, but they ain't gonna play Penn State, North, freaking Michigan. He can't do anything. Come on, stop.
Does anybody know what Paul is talking about?
I have
No idea.
No, he's in here he's going off on this guy like he's the best quarterback since sliced bread. No.
All
I
right.
don't think I'm doing all that, but I mean, hey, at least my team won and yours lost. So
No, but you're playing nobody and we play somebody. We played Georgia for God's sakes. I mean, Jesus Christ.
play Georgia. We're undefeated against Georgia all time in history.
All right. So you saw.
But line up against,
Whatever.
hang on, but line up against Georgia tomorrow and they push your shit in.
They
Yeah.
would take you, they would take
After
you all the way
freaking
to hell
Nittany,
with
they
that.
would destroy us. I'm not going to sit up there and say we would be able to compete because we wouldn't. Be lucky to get a safety.
Nobody can unless they're
Okay,
really
so
elite.
let's not compare Georgia and Kent State.
I'm not the one comparing Georgia and Kent State. Y'all are, not me.
No, I'm telling you
I
that
didn't bring that up.
you're bragging because you beat Kent State.
You know what? You got a problem with that?
Yes.
All right, listen, he got to win. He's happy about a win. Let me, but here's a serious question. Here's a serious question, and I don't know. I want your perspective because I didn't see the game, the Pitt game. Are you comfortable that this is a much better football team fundamentally than they were last year? Because last year they were awful.
Oh, much better.
Okay.
Much better on both sides of the ball. Offense, defense. We can. Seems like we've finally been figured out how to get after the quarterback again, and we have a run game. Especially with Rodney Hammond being ruled ineligible for the whole year. We're good.
All right, good.
Against whom?
We could compete with anybody on the schedule this year. Hell, I mean, we beat Louisville last year when we were at our worst.
Okay.
Yeah. Clemson has to travel to Pitt late in the year, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually will watch that game as well.
Look. I'm gonna say this: Pitt's gonna whoop our ass. Okay, they're gonna whoop our ass.
Oh, you think every team's gonna whoop our ass? You've gone so far off the deep end. It's not even funny.
I'm gonna be
I
honest
have that
with
as a
you.
double-digit loss. Clemson beating Pitt.
If Clemson
Can we
can't
get Jordan
figure out,
Bowman in here? He's more reasonable.
Yeah.
if Clemson can't come out and figure this out, okay, they don't know how to run an offense. That's the biggest problem we have. And now we'll see. Appalachian State, if they beat us, then I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
they will.
name a defense within 20 spots of the defense you just faced.
Yeah. Maybe Miami.
Miami.
We don't.
Okay, well that's not till the ACC championship game. We don't play.
Yeah, we don't play each other in the regular season.
Louisville.
No.
No.
No. No. Slim's right. There isn't anybody on our schedule better than 20 spots better than Georgia, within Georgia, defensively.
Well, in the ACC, maybe not.
Yeah, well, that's who. I mean, that's who we play though. And then we've got South Carolina. Whoop-de fucking do. They're but worse. Vanderbilt might beat them.
I'm very.
Dude, South Carolina tried to lose to Old fucking Dominion.
I'm very, very thankful we play in the All-Conference. I really am.
Oh, all right. All right, moving on to the one of the biggest games of the week. Well, on paper anyway, it didn't turn out to be. Miami actually manhandled and slaughtered Florida on their home turf, and won Pigskin Pete some money too in the process. So thank you. I actually won 2 bets on that game because I live bet. I bet Miami with the before the game at -2 or 2.5 or whatever it was, and then I live bet during the game and won that bet too. So I won 2 bets on that game. But yeah, Miami looked. I'm trying to think.
Miami looks good.
I'm trying to think of like a real weakness that I saw in that Miami team, and I can't really even think of one.
No, they look good. They look real.
And I went into that game thinking our secondary would be a weakness because that was, one of the spots everybody was pointing to. And I figured an experienced quarterback like Graham Mertz, could possibly take advantage of it. But to their credit, Lance Guidry put the corners out on islands against Florida, and they stepped up to the task. Surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, really, for Florida, they had like, what, 2 big plays, and that was really where all their points came from. Right? They had that one, 70-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that 70-yard touchdown, which was the majority of their rush yards, by the way. Like, they rushed for 50 yards for the rest of the game.
Right.
And that was another thing that surprised me, is how well that D-line stood up, even though Reuben Bain went down on the first series.
I'm getting some sort of feedback. I think it's from Talk is Pitt. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I think you're right.
It was bothering me too much. It sounded like you're inside of a washing machine or something. So yeah, a big win for Miami on the road in the swamp. Now, to be fair, I think Florida's a terrible team, but Miami did what they do. What you're supposed to do to terrible teams in a hostile environment and all that. So. A good start for the Hurricanes. And Cam Ward, man, good Lord.
Ooh.
He put on a clinic.
Who's the next Miami fan? Who's the next
Listen,
Miami opponent?
in the age of the better team in Tallahassee, Florida A&M, in the age of NIL, Damian Martinez and Cam Ward are worth every penny they paid for them. Every penny.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Unlike DJ at Florida State, not worth every penny they paid him.
And shout out, dude! Did you see that one catch where Restrepo hit that spin move on that safety and just absolutely jacked his ACL?
Yeah, Restrepo he's going to play on Sundays. Somebody will draft him as a slot receiver and he'll play a lot in the NFL.
I love that little Mohawk motherfucker.
Yeah.
I swear I do.
Now they look good, man.
I mean, Cam Ward looked good at Washington State and put up big numbers, but he's got way more weapons in Miami than he had in Washington State. Way more.
I ain't gonna tell you, Slim. You can't get me happier than the fucking Miami now. I mean, they're good. They look good.
Oh, listen, my weekend could not have gone better. Miami's undefeated. Florida ain't got a win, and Florida State has 2 losses. I couldn't have wrote it better myself if I tried.
So this honestly makes me pretty sick.
Actually, I'll take that back. I could write it better because you want to delve into superstition. The last time Miami played in the swamp, they won 41-16 and went to the national title game.
So now you're okay. I see what you're doing.
Hey, C-Dog,
I'm just saying we believe in
Georgia Tech
superstition.
gets to play. You get to play them, and they get to beat the fuck out of them. So let's go.
What were you about to say,
Yes.
C-Dog? You said something made you sick.
Yeah, the Miami thing made me sick, and I don't know if y'all recall last week, I begrudgingly admitted that I thought they'd be good. I gotta just at least
Acknowledge.
At least if I have to acknowledge Miami's right or Miami's good, I want to also acknowledge that I'm right about them all the time. I've been right about them every year, every single year. I've had my finger on the pulse. I've got them freaking figured out. I'm telling you. And I didn't talk much about them this year because I thought they'd be good. And
well, we picked them on this show to go 11-1.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, I'd be lying because I said it on this show. I'd be lying if I said that I thought they were going to blow Florida out like that. I didn't.
No, I did say 8 or 9 wins. I didn't say ACC championships. So, but if you asked me right now, I'd say that they're the front runner for the conference title.
Oh, sure. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure right now in Vegas they are the heavy favorite to win the ACC, just based off of one. I mean, it changes every week, but
if I had to pick a top 3 right now, it would be Miami, Georgia Tech, and probably Louisville. I guess Pitt might have something to say about that.
You wouldn't put Clemson anywhere in there, huh?
No.
No?
Wow.
Clemson sucks.
That's some disrespect.
I'm
man.
sorry, dude. Clemson sucks.
All right, we'll see.
Well, we don't play Clemson either, so I mean, you play Miami though, right? And
No, we don't play Miami either.
No, we don't play Miami.
oh wow,
No, we play Louisville, NC State, and Florida State,
so here's
and Virginia Tech.
Louisville,
We
Georgia
don't
Tech,
play- we
and
don't play NC State, Pitt. We have Louisville at Louisville, Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech.
yeah. So we all play each other, Georgia Tech, Louisville, and Miami. So that'll be decided on the field. So maybe Clemson backs their way in by process of elimination.
Yeah, I don't know, Sea Dog. I'm high on Georgia Tech and everything, but you barely beat a fucking terrible Florida State team.
Whoa! You don't think we can compete for the conference?
No.
I didn't say that.
Well, and it's coming up, but you almost shit down your pant leg against Georgia State.
Okay, yeah, it's coming up. We'll talk about that.
All right, it's coming up here soon.
So
and I'm not comparing him to him, Pete, but a lot of those funky arm angles and weird sidearm throws will put your mind to Patrick Mahomes really quick.
Yeah, except for Patrick Mahomes knows how to do it.
Well, I understand that, and I'm not comparing. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just you don't see that in college very often. Those weird arm angles for throws, those funky sidearm throws.
well, DJ's tried it.
Yeah, DJ does it all the time. It just doesn't work. He does. He did it 4 or 5 times in the game last night. And they were all terrible passes. I mean, he's a baseball player, so that's why he throws it like that sometimes. But anyway, moving on to Syracuse and Ohio. Not the Ohio State, but yeah, Ohio. And I got to say, Syracuse. I mean, they look good. With what's his name, Kyle McCord.
Not Ohio State's problem.
Yeah, they did. They got gashed on the run game, which is what I'm looking at. Obviously, we play them next week, which we'll talk about. But
Yeah,
it was pretty close for a while.
that's the reason I'm probably going to pick Syracuse to beat. I mean, Georgia Tech to beat Syracuse, because I think obviously that's Georgia Tech's forte, right?
Yeah, it's just a mismatch.
It's a mismatch, but offensively though, I think Syracuse is pretty good. Defensively, I think there's a little bit left to be desired there. We'll find out. It'll be a good matchup there. I think Georgia Tech and Syracuse to see exactly where Syracuse is at after that game.
I do think Kyle McCord's a very good quarterback, and he can. Would it surprise me if this turned into a shootout? Not really.
No.
No, I think it'll be actually be a good game. Where's that game being played?
It's at Syracuse.
Oh, okay. Is that okay?
You realize that Syracuse will win this game,
Fart box.
but only by the skin of their chinny chin chin.
So Paul is already picking Syracuse to beat Georgia Tech.
Well, we'll just see about that.
I don't know if you guys saw after the game, the Syracuse head coach thanked Ohio State for giving them Kyle McCord. Yeah, he did.
And you know what? After considering how Wisconsin played, I figured Luke Fickell owed Mario an apology for running his cock holster, but no such apology. But I did get to watch old Tyler Van Dyke struggle, and now Wisconsin finds out why we weren't sad to see him go.
I'm going to New York for that game. I'm getting on a plane Friday to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a friend that lives up there, and I want to go to 2 away games a year, so it'll be that in Chapel Hill.
I've always wanted to go to a game in Syracuse just because it's so unique that the way that that dome is, and I mean you're right on the field. I don't know how good your seats are. Do you?
They're good. I'm not traveling to New York to have shitty seats.
Pete, have you ever been to Boston College?
I have not.
Go. That's more important than Syracuse, by the way. It's such a great campus. Is my point.
Yeah, I think that's fake news.
Cool
But
town, man.
I mean, I'm sure Boston's great, but their stadium isn't. I mean,
No.
But I don't know how good Syracuse offense is. If you watch that game, Miami, or not Miami of Ohio, but Ohio played nothing but base zone 95% of that game. And their quarterback just carved it up. So if he faces a better defense, is it the same? I'm not saying it's not, but they also gave up 255 yards rushing to a bad team.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Syracuse is you only have Syracuse. When you go to Boston, you got a whole town plus a campus is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not talking about what's a better city, Boston or Syracuse. Obviously, it's Boston. I'm just talking about the game experience itself.
No, Syracuse.
And Boston's a bunch of potato-eating savages.
Yeah, everything north of the Mason-Dixon, just the hell with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me how much you paid for those tickets, but were they expensive?
I want to say they were right around like $115.
Well, that's not bad.
Which isn't. That's not bad at all. I mean, again, if you're going to travel up there, I mean,
I was gonna say,
good seats.
yeah, you're paying a lot more for your plane ticket than you are for the game ticket.
I have a layover in Charlotte. Yeah.
Unless you fly Spirit.
Well, there actually was a near miss mid-air collision at the airport I'm flying into about a month ago, so that's nice.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, shit.
All right, moving on. I again, another game I didn't see, and by the way, I apologize to the Cal, Stanford, and SMU fans. Last week on the ACC show, we didn't even talk about them at all. I'm still trying to get used to them being in the conference, quite honestly. But anyway.
I think SMU will probably thank you for ignoring them after that performance.
Well, yeah. We'll knock out both of those at the same time. So Cal and Stanford, Cal and SMU did both come away with victories. SMU, who did SMU play again? Some Christian school. It was some
Houston Christian.
Houston Christian. Thank you.
Christian. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course they were going to beat them.
I don't know. They tried to fuck around and lose to Nevada, so.
Yeah, I'm not sold on SMU yet either until they play somebody with a pulse. Georgia Tech and Georgia State, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right.
How's that?
The Marta Bowl.
Tell me about this game. You were there.
I wasn't there. Rec Talk was there.
Yeah, Rec.
I was actually, it was interesting. I didn't have a great view because I was in the north end zone suites, but I don't think you can really trash Tech for covering a large line against a team like that. Like, yeah, the first half was sketchy. I was pissed, but obviously they adjusted and did what they had to do. I mean, Tech has lost these games before, so I'm just happy they played well in a game they should have won by a lot of points, and they did. I mean, and I also don't think Georgia State's an awful team.
No.
Like Florida State would like to have their quarterback probably. I think he's better.
Dude, they literally have a better quarterback than Florida State, and they wanted to win more than Florida State did. They played a lot more inspired.
They were better coached. I'm not.
Yeah, and they were better coached. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was somewhat of a trap game with Georgia Tech coming back from Ireland and having to prepare for that kind of team that really has nothing to lose.
Well, I mean, they had film on us. They have like our old coaches and players and stuff. So
right.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it was a little slow of a start, but we really poured it on in the second half. Started really kicking their ass.
Well, there was some build up, right, Sea-Dog? But for our channels, we got into it with a 247 reporter.
A 247 reporter started talking trash that covered Georgia State. And we got into it with him, and I don't know. Yeah, that was very unbecoming of a 247 reporter to do that.
He bookmarked Sea-Dog's tweets and then unbookmarked them.
Yeah.
That's never a good look when you do that.
I had commented some trash talk under his post because he was talking about. They were talking about some crazy stuff. They said, "Oh, this is Georgia State's most talented roster ever," and Georgia Tech. Okay, this is a horrible stat. I probably shouldn't even say it, but before this game, Georgia Tech and their last 4 games against Group of 5 is 0-4.
Wow.
Yeesh.
So, yeah, it makes me sick. But obviously we broke that. So they legitimately thought they were coming up in here to beat us, and they played like it. And their fans, we were getting into it with them, which was funny.
And Georgia Tech is now ranked, right, in the AP?
That's right, number 23.
Yeah, ranked higher than Clemson.
First time in how many years, Sea-Dog?
It's freaking 9 years.
Was it
Yep.
was it in Bobby?
Has it
Dodd?
really been 9 years since
It's been 9 years, dude. Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Was it
Yeah.
Bobby Dodd Stadium?
We're breaking all kinds of records this year.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't get overrated like Miami every year, so.
Hey,
Well, I will say this, like,
call it overrated if you want. Cam Ward actually broke a record.
Listen, I got nothing.
I think signifies
Slim, we don't
that-
care about Cam.
I got nothing to say about this year. Miami is legit this year.
Fuck
Don't make
Cam
me
Ward.
freaking keep saying it. Okay, I'm talking about before.
Oh, I'm going to believe me.
Cam Ward.
I'm
good,
over
but
it.
we don't
Milk
need to
this
hear
for
it.
all it's worth.
Yeah, do it while you can until you run into the freaking Jackets late November.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, we're going to that game, right? That's gonna be huge. Imagine if we're both like one loss or something. That'd be
Let's go.
crazy.
Well, either way, Georgia Tech to start out a season. I mean, you couldn't really even imagine a better start for the Yellow Jackets based on the expectations for that team.
Yeah.
2-0, they're ranked.
Can you believe we had a 4.5? Our over/under win was 4.5 this year.
Yeah, well, I had you at 7 or 8 wins. That was my
Yeah.
prediction,
Yeah.
which I think you'll definitely hit that.
So.
So, anyway, congratulations to the Yellow Jackets. And the last one we already talked about. I don't even really know what else left to say about Florida State and Boston College. I mean, that just was an absolute. That game was never in question. It just wasn't.
No. Can you imagine? Can you believe how many freaking times they literally just ran it up the middle, and would get 3 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, just over and over and over. It was just bad.
Yeah.
What- here's
Just
how you
hand it
know
off
they
the
gave
middle.
up. To ice that game, Casanellis did that like he was going to throw the flat and cut it up field and converted 2 third downs on the same exact play. Same exact play.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was bad. So we were talking about like, what does that mean for us? Did we really just beat a crappy Florida State team? But
Well, it ain't
Well,
good.
you did.
I think that they quit. Honestly, I think we broke them.
I don't know
There's
about that.
legitimate questions now
No.
whether or not Florida State's going to make a bowl game.
Well, that's a legitimate question because again, they still have to play Miami, Notre Dame, and Clemson.
Florida
That's-
State's done, man.
That's most likely 3 losses right there. So now you're at 5.
They're done.
So they only got to lose one more game.
Come on, man.
Yeah, they're looking like around a 6-6 team unless they find a way. Which I don't even know how it's gonna be possible for them to beat one of those 3 teams I just mentioned.
Clemson's done too, but look.
Paul, you comparing Florida State and Clemson is the most asinine thing I've ever heard. Did you watch the games?
Watch. We're gonna lose Appalachian State.
All right.
You said you're going to lose
Tell 'em,
to
Paul.
App State,
Tell 'em.
Florida State.
Now that Florida State defense, is something that even Clemson could score on.
Not to mention,
I don't disagree. But
how are they going to score on Clemson? That's what I want to know.
Dude,
They're not.
does Florida State make a bowl this year?
Whoa.
I mean, unless DJ can complete a pass, I mean, your secondary can be had, but
I don't think Florida State's gonna get 5 wins. To be honest.
Yeah, 5 or
I don't think
6.
They make a bowl because they have to win all of their quote
Yeah,
unquote
I don't think
winnable
they'll
games,
win 5.
and those games are games like Boston College type
Yeah,
teams.
they're
Right.
not
Got
gonna
dog
win
walk.
5.
They have at least 3 more guaranteed losses.
I mean,
Clemson,
they could beat Florida. They look better than Florida.
Yeah,
No,
Clemson,
they
Notre
have
Dame, and
3.
Miami.
They have
Incorrect.
They have Clemson, Notre Dame, and Miami. Those are 3 locks. Those are losses.
Florida looks better than Florida State.
Well, Florida might have an interim coach by then, and they'd probably be better.
Which I told you.
It's funny you say that. because, and I think they may be trying to set Billy up, because a story broke this morning that apparently the Gators blackout uniforms last year were supposed to be sold at a charity auction, and only one of them got sold, and the rest ended up in Steve Spurrier's restaurant. And
What?
they haven't come right out and said it, but it's like they're hinting around. They're trying to blame Billy for it, which says to me they're trying to set him up for a fall, set him up for cause.
Yeah, set him up for cause.
Yeah, we're in. Florida's in trouble, and when I say we, I mean Florida's in trouble. They're going to lose the rest of their. I mean, a lot of the games they're going to play. They're going to lose them all.
I'm not worried about Florida. Rooster, he's right. They got to play Memphis this week. Florida State does. They might lose that game.
Is Memphis a lot better than Boston College or worse? I don't think so.
Memphis is on the short list of Group of 5 teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
How bad is the ACC comparatively speaking? Let's be honest.
To what?
I think it's being overblown, because if you look at marquee matchups, the SEC went 1-3.
Yeah, a lot of the perception of the ACC right now is the fact that Florida State's bad. Really?
I'd like to point out, actually, Florida State is on a bye week this week, which means they got to sit at 0-2 for another week.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They a bye week, then they play Memphis next week. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida State
I knew they had a bye week.
They are the first team to ever be ranked 17th in the ACC.
God damn.
Virginia.
Damn.
And they're staying there.
And they're holding that. Oh, they're holding it for 3 weeks. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on.
This might be favored. You're right, though.
They will be.
Let's pretend the ACC is good. Let's go ahead and pretend.
Now, the game is in Tallahassee, but not that matters. What's going on? When is that construction supposed to be done? Because they only had half of the stadium open for the Boston College game.
I have no clue.
It's Rooster's problem. He's supposed to be working the God blessed construction site. He gets the hard hat down there every fucking week.
Are they going to just stop construction? Like, you know how in the Olympics they build stuff and it goes to ruin?
That stadium. He's a project manager fixing that stadium.
Yeah, that's a good question, Rack. I don't know if they stop it or not.
Not that I know of. Because you remember last year, Bandy was holding up their scoreboard with a couple of cranes.
Well, you would think they would have finished this before the season started. You know.
One would think.
It's all blocked off, he says. Well, I don't know. The Florida State fans might start protesting. They might not be able to fill up the stadium anyway the next few weeks, so it's not going to matter.
No, this is actually a good time for them to do this construction.
Because they suck.
And SEC, speaking of SEC, their fans have gotten their panties in a twist. Hey, listen, for supposedly the greatest thing since sliced bread, y'all got softer feelings than baby shit.
Who?
SEC fans.
Oh God, yeah. Come on.
All because Ward said, "Oh, USC was louder than the swamp." Their fucking panties are in a twist.
South Carolina doesn't have anybody that loud.
Well.
Oh, you meant Southern Cal. Oh, you meant Southern Cal. Okay.
Yeah, Southern Cal. The real USC, not USC Junior.
Well, Southern Cal didn't play at home though. They played that game in Vegas. But.
Well, no, they had asked him specifically about, SEC environment versus Pac-12, and he said that the Rose Bowl and Oregon Stadium were louder than the Swamp.
This is a great comment by Wahoo Brad. He says that Florida State is suing the construction company.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Hey, I know it's a troll, but T2I posted a comment from their message boards on 247. They were asking if anybody in there was a lawyer so they could sue these players to recoup some NIL.
Yeah, right.
I'm sending Rooster a fucking minute. Kev, hey, listen, man. Why is it he can't get this shit done?
Yeah, this is Rooster's fault.
What
What is Grandpa on about?
I don't know. He's blaming Rooster for the construction or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Because he's a damn foreman. Yo, listen. Rooster is the foreman of the construction on Florida State's damn thing.
Yeah, Florida State's biggest problem, it turns out, is Rooster.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly. He's doing it on purpose.
God damn, they got a Clemson quarterback and a South Carolina construction foreman.
Oh, hell. No wonder they're in the shape they're in.
That's exactly. Yo, got to blame it on the right people.
All right, let's move on to these this week's games coming up here. I guess there's no Thursday game this week. I think the first game is on Friday.
Did you get the graphic, Pete?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know.
That's
Yes, you sent him the week 2 graphic first.
Well, I didn't have to change the freaking name this time, so there.
Whatever.
Well,
You can't be bothered.
Try to-
Don't take that shit from them, dude.
I bet you there's still something wrong with it.
Graphics guy's on strike because of his mistreatment.
no.
Yeah, well,
Next time, send me the graphics any time of the week and just let me know when you send them so I can get them up before the show starts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Georgia Tech at Syracuse. We touched on this just a little bit here. Does anybody know what the line is on this? Because I'm
2.5 for Tech.
2.5 for Tech, yeah.
2.5 for Tech, man, and that sounds about right to me. I'm going to take Tech in this because
Do
of the.
not bet this game.
Yeah,
Do
no.
not bet it.
Well, I probably.
I wouldn't touch this.
I don't think I'm going to, but as far as just picking it, I think I'm going to pick Georgia Tech. Like I think it's a good matchup for Tech. We already mentioned that Syracuse gave up a shit ton of rushing yards to whoever they played, Kent State or whatever. And so Georgia Tech might run for 250 yards in this game. So give me the Jackets on that one. I know who you guys have. What about you, Slim? What do you think? Ohio, sorry.
I like the line. I like the line on this game. I think I'm with you. That's about right. This game may come down to who has the ball last. I could really see, Georgia Tech just running it up and down the field. But I think Kyle McCord is a very good quarterback, and I could see him slinging the ball all over the place.
Yeah.
It'll be a good test of Tech's defense. They've looked really good up to this point, but they haven't faced anything like Syracuse.
Yeah. Well, just for all the hell Sea Dog's giving me, I'm going with Syracuse. That's the only reason.
I said for the first time ever that I think Miami's good.
He's praising your team and you're shitting on him, dude. I mean, that's the most Miami thing I've ever heard.
I see what it is.
Look, listen.
Hey, listen, I put up with way more shit out of you than I've gotten praise.
Oh, whatever. Probably because your freaking team deserves it. They suck.
Look,
We haven't given you more shit than your own team has.
This is true.
That's a fair point.
I love it.
That is a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse got the upset here, but I'm still taking Georgia Tech based on what I've seen so far.
So yeah, I like you said, their run defense is pretty sus. So thinking that might be an advantage to us since we're literally the best rushing freaking offense in the ACC.
Since when?
Last year, factually.
Last year they were
Very well
statistically.
come into that game and stack. See, here's where I have a problem with that game. They stack 8 men in the box. I don't care if their run defense isn't the greatest. It's going to be tough to run against 8 or 9 guys in the box. And I don't know if Haynes King can beat him with his arm.
Well, of course he can.
I disagree, Slim.
I'm not saying he can. I'm saying I don't know.
I think Haynes King is fine. So just anyway.
Syracuse's best linebacker, team captain, is also out for this game.
That's huge, too.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is actually, I forgot about that. I would take Tech on the line here. I'm not a better, but I might actually take Tech here.
That sways my decision. I mean, See your
What did he get,
hometown,
targeting?
Greg.
What did he target or something?
No injury.
Yeah, he's out for like 6
he's
weeks
out
at
for
minimum.
6 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that's a huge blow.
I think Tech all the way. On the line and the money line. I'll take both.
All right, the next one. This is an interesting matchup here. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. This is another case of an ACC team that decides to go on the road. Cincinnati. Man, I didn't see the Pittsburgh game. I'm only going off what Talk is Pitt told me, and of course he believes that their quarterback is now somehow better than Kenny Pickett, which is insane.
He might have been smoking his funny stuff
No, I wouldn't.
before he came on and said that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is probably a very close line too in Vegas. And I'm going to take the home team here. Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Bearcats to win this.
I'll take them too.
This is a noon kickoff in Cincinnati.
I'll take them too.
Well, the ACC needs some street cred, so give me Pitt.
I don't know.
What's the line?
I don't know what the line is.
I'll probably go with Pittsburgh actually.
I'm not sure
No, I'll
Cincinnati
go
was what they
Cincinnati.
were under Luke Fickell.
Yeah, and those teams are having a hard time adjusting to the Power 5 competition, and Pitt. I mean,
No, I don't win that.
I just don't trust Pitt yet. And I'm not saying they might go out there and win this by 3 scores. I have no idea, but I need to see more than just who they played last week before I can make that determination. Based on the way they looked last year, and they had a lot of problems last year.
Yeah, that's what makes early season so hard.
Yeah, these week 2 is always one of the toughest weeks to pick because it's a lot of unknowns. Jacksonville State and Louisville. Does anybody? I mean,
Nah, move on.
this game's in Louisville.
We know Louisville's gonna win, and then California Auburn. Oh my God.
Well,
Oh.
Auburn's gonna win that.
How you pick California here?
Well, I don't think anybody is.
College football fans, I don't know shit about Cal, so.
Fucking Peyton Thorne is not a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So let's move
I
on.
mean, you talk about wait a minute. You talk about what they did last year. This is the team that lost to New Mexico State.
That's a fair point. I don't know. I just feel like that
Slim. Come on.
Auburn at home. Yeah, give me Auburn by a lot. They're probably favored by at least 2 scores, at least, but maybe more than that.
Beat them last year.
I mean, we're talking about Cal here. Let's be real.
That was the game that was like 10-6, right?
Huh?
What? Last year?
I thought that was UCLA.
What a low
Auburn
score.
No, that was Cal.
Yeah, and Cal almost got them.
Look.
So
Listen.
Yeah, it was like 15-10 or something.
We have so much time.
Yeah, Cal equals Virginia. That's a pretty good comparison there.
yeah, well, and what is Auburn? I mean, what has Hugh Freeze ever done? He's got a couple of wins against Nick Saban to hang his hat on. That's it.
Still better than Cal.
Yeah.
He got Hooker's numbers.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of hookers in his Rolodex.
Yeah, he's getting fucked on and off the field, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the way to be,
What's
dude.
wrong with that? Why y'all?
Yeah, if you're gonna get
Well, I mean, there is
fucked on,
something wrong with that.
Get it off.
There is something wrong with that, considering the fact that he's married.
Well, at least put down the Bible.
Not when he's with that hooker, he ain't.
Come on, man.
Rick knows how that goes.
This marriage thing is way overrated.
All right, Boston College is hosting Duquesne.
Oh my God.
which-
You know what that's done. Next.
Yeah. What are we talking about here? See, these are some bad matchups. Charlotte at North Carolina.
Done. Next.
Look at here. Marshall at Virginia Tech. Could Virginia Tech go? Could Virginia Tech start out the season 0-2? I mean, who's better?
Marshall.
Give me Marshall. Is Marshall's?
Marshall.
I mean, let's do a little bit of. I know you're not supposed to do this, but we're going to do a little bit of we're going to do some comparisons here. If Marshall played Vanderbilt this week, who would be favored, Marshall or Vanderbilt?
Vandy, probably.
You think so?
Yeah,
No,
Vandy
probably Marshall.
Sandy looked pretty good.
Listen to me.
Yeah,
Marshall.
because, hang on, because I remember that New Mexico State team I was talking about that beat Auburn. Like half their staff and players transferred to Vanderbilt.
I disagree, man. I actually think Marshall would beat them.
Hey, look what channel that's on. It's on the CW network.
Our favorite.
Hey, did I not freaking tell y'all about, what did I tell y'all about Virginia Tech, man?
Did you see Clemson, Florida State
You did.
on the CW?
I was right.
Hold on now. The Virginia Tech is favored by 20.5 points. Yeah, give me Marshall with the points for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Dang, they're making me thinking about betting. Dang.
I'm sending money right now.
I don't see that line says to me like they think Virginia Tech is going to do what we thought Florida State was going to do and come out pissed off and probably slap Marshall around.
Oh, I don't know, man. That's a lot of points. I'll take.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
listen,
lot of points and you got beat by Vandy.
Yeah.
I don't like that line, but that's probably their line of thinking with it, though, is what I'm saying.
It wouldn't surprise me if that line moves quite a bit, but
they're dumb. That's dumb.
I mean, you say that, and I thought the NC State line would move drastically, and it hasn't.
Well, then play the God blessed line. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? I mean,
Grandpa.
come on. It's not because you want to win. It's because you want to play the line. That's all.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
You gotta play. You gotta play the line. You can't play to win. You gotta play the
Dude,
line.
hey, I'm gonna need you to change your name immediately to Upper Billy Biden. I think your cheese split off the crackers there.
that's rough, man. That might be the messed up thing they ever said to Huffer.
You don't want to listen. We're looking at these games. You should play whatever the line is.
Then. Whatever.
Play the
For
line.
Billy
First of all, Paul does not bet. He doesn't sports bet, but he loves giving advice on how to do it.
That's probably a good thing he doesn't sports bet based off of his advice. 'Cause I don't think anybody actually knows what his advice is.
I don't know.
Bet against Clemson every single week, no matter who they play.
Yeah, bet against Clemson no matter who they play. I think what he's saying here, I'm trying to, because I actually do speak Paul a little bit, and I think what he's trying to say is you should take the points and not just bet the money line.
Exactly.
All right.
Play the line.
See, I've spent enough time around this guy. I know what he's saying sometimes. All right, so yeah, but I think we're all in agreement there. So I don't know. As far as picking a winner, I guess I'll take Virginia Tech at home to bounce back. But that's a hell of a lot of points.
Yeah, I don't like those points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for them, but Miami's gonna win every game for a while.
Well, Miami's up next.
Virginia Tech.
Florida A&M at Miami. I mean,
Yeah, they gonna win that.
that's an easy one there.
Are we legitimately playing the better team in Tallahassee?
That is funny. Probably. Man, can you believe that?
Oh
With
my
a better
God!
mascot.
You might be playing the better team in all of Florida.
This game's not even on TV. You got to go to the internet to watch this. ESPN Plus.
Yeah, well, maybe. I've got an angry phone call with DirecTV to deal with first.
Uh-oh. So you're going to get DirecTV to carry it?
They're either gonna get their shit straight, or I'm getting the hell off of DirecTV. One of the two things is gonna happen.
Well, get off of DirecTV, dude. Who would pay for that?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah,
TV.
exactly. Why would you be on DirecTV?
Hey, you got a smart TV, don't you, Slim? I know you do.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, stream it. I waited 2 years too long, or maybe 3, to switch from cable to streaming. It's so much better.
Because of what I get. If you add the cost of YouTube TV plus the like $30 a month or whatever it is that HBO Max is, it's just as much as what I'm paying for DirecTV.
Right,
We'll
and when I
do
want to
HBO
cancel
Max.
it, I
Get
don't
rid
have
of
to
that
talk to
shit.
anybody.
Get rid
I
of
just click a
HBO
button.
Max. Get rid of that.
HBO Max costs like $10, I think.
Fuck that.
Although they've got fucking tiers to that shit.
Why do you need HBO Max? Porn is free.
There's no porn on HBO.
Yeah, there's no porn on HBO.
Oh, I guess I'm aging myself. It was Showtime or something.
No,
like
that was
10 o'clock at night.
Cinemax.
Oh yeah, Skinamax.
Yeah, because you get the free trial and you'd be like, all right, I'm staying up, Mom. No need to stay down here at all.
All right, so that,
he said staying up, Mom is a
Yeah,
problem.
because I don't have that huge DirecTV bill that I hear some people like. My DirecTV bill is $110 a month.
yeah, but you can get YouTube TV or Hulu TV for $70, and you can stream up to 4 TVs on that one subscription.
Yeah,
You can't stream all the DirecTV either. They'll black out the streaming for whatever dumb purpose. And if you need to change anything, you got to talk to 40 different people to do it.
I think I read something.
I talked to one person.
I think I read something that somehow DirecTV blacked out the game last night. Didn't they?
Oh yeah, I was able to watch the USC LSU game, but not the Boston College
Yeah,
Florida
see?
State game. And it's
How
not
does
a
that
blackout.
happen?
They're in the middle of a contract dispute with Disney.
They're always in the middle of a contract dispute every year. This happens
Why
every
would they
year.
let it run into football season? Wouldn't you get that sorted out where it doesn't affect like your most viewed stuff?
But hey, that happened with YouTube TV as well. During football
All right, if you
season.
want to defend DirecTV, like you can do it, dude. But
I'm not. I'm just
jealous.
saying that's not an exclusive problem to them. That's happened with YouTube TV as well.
I think it might have happened a couple of years ago, but that only lasted like a couple of days, not like weeks and weeks.
No, okay. And as far as I know, it's already done, and it only lasted a couple of days. I'm not home, so I can't answer that question.
Yeah. Oh well.
I had it Sunday. I didn't have it Monday, and I wasn't home today. So
Well, I'd be mad if I paid $100 for cable or satellite or whatever and didn't have that game last night. I'd be real mad.
That would piss me off too.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I still watched it on YouTube. Well, I went to bed early as crap though. I had to be up at 2 o'clock this morning.
listen. These games, and I'm going to be honest, ACC games are fun to watch because nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen. I mean, everything's a box of chocolates over here.
Well, how is that any different than any other conference?
No, SEC, we know. Okay, let's be
No,
clear.
you don't.
Georgia's going to win. I mean, they are.
No, they might. Georgia's got to go to Texas. They got to go to Alabama. They got to go to Ole Miss.
No. But the point is, I'm talking about the stupid games. Like we're playing these dumb games, right? We're playing.
Well, and for all the shit that the ACC is carrying, LSU went down to USC, A&M went down to Notre Dame.
Listen,
I mean,
we're playing Florida, who's nothing. BC's playing Florida State. Okay. Now, Florida State should win that game, but you don't know. And then you watch it and you go, holy shit. And Florida State couldn't even beat the other. Look, ACC is the best thing on TV. Come on, man. They should be getting paid a lot of money. They should be getting paid a lot.
You're describing it like a circus show. Though,
Yeah.
Like it's a side act.
It is. I mean, the ACC has look, man, they should get paid money for this. But, man, whatever.
All right, Cal Poly at Stanford. I don't even know who to pick in that one. I guess take Stanford.
I mean, Jesus, fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I didn't know Cal Poly had a team.
I didn't either.
You in California. I mean, come on, man.
Slaw, are you doing the dishes?
Well, yeah, I remember here working. Doing shit.
Don't let us interrupt you. Go ahead.
Virginia at Wake Forest. Wow.
Give me Wake.
Yeah, I'll take Wake. It's in Wake Forest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So this is one of the biggest preseason matchups. I don't know. Originally, I would have said this would probably be a game that came down to the end. Based on NC State's performance against Western Carolina, I don't know if I feel that way now. Plus, this game, where's this at? In Charlotte, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Charlotte. But this is the one I was talking about. The line really has not moved. 2 points. That's it. I figured a much more drastic move than that.
It's a crazy look. That's a crazy game. I'll be honest. It's a crazy game.
I'm not sure this game's going to be close.
I know it's not.
I'm taking Tennessee. And what's the spread?
7 or 7.5.
Yeah, if it's at a touchdown or less, I probably will bet this game, and I'll take Tennessee to cover.
It was at 5.5, so I think it's at 7.5 because it's moved 2 points.
I don't think. I just don't think NC State has the offense to keep up with Tennessee's offense.
No, they're not going to win.
Yeah, but a young quarterback can get rattled very easily.
Yeah, I mean, this is a better opponent than the Tennessee played last week, but still.
Slim, stop.
I'm just saying that line, the movement of that line tells me something. Vegas knows something I don't, because it doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, do you think this quarterback, seriously, do you think, listen and look, do you think this quarterback at Tennessee is going to be rattled by NC State? Honestly, come on, man.
I think this is a scary game for Tennessee because now with the letdown of NC State doesn't really have anything to lose, and there's a ton of hype around Tennessee right now. I actually think this would be a place they could stumble in game 1 or 2 or whatever it is for them.
I hope that NC State wins. I mean, I'm an NC State. Here I'm a homer. But I hate Dorian the Explorer, but hopefully he wins. Dorian the Explorer may win this game. I don't think so. I think Tennessee wins this game.
You just call him Dorian the Explorer?
Yeah.
Tennessee by 100. I'm sorry. And this isn't just me hating on NC State. I just think that's the way it's going to go down.
I agree. It's going to go down hard.
Not by 100, but by a lot.
It's going to go down by a lot.
And, of course, the game of the week, the primetime game on the almighty ACC network. Now, Paul, we already know what you think about this game. Paul is convinced that App State's going to beat Clemson.
Yeah, they are.
You won't bet me on it, though, will you?
How much you want, 100 or 50?
You tell me. You're so confident about it. I'm gonna give you some money, but I'm gonna give you some money. I mean, so what I'm getting at here is I don't think you really believe that because you're hesitant to bet on it.
You know, I'll be honest. I'm being clear. I don't feel confident that Clemson is going to figure it out
against App State.
No, I really don't. And here's the thing. App State has nothing to lose. They really don't. And I think Clemson has a hell of a lot to lose. I mean, we already saw them shit the bed. Okay, so 34-3. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking again with the comparisons. You're comparing Georgia to App State.
No. I think they are shell shocked. I think that this is going to be one of the games where they feel like they have to do stuff that they shouldn't have to do. You know what I mean? They're going to try and do unnatural acts. Is my point.
The Vegas line on this is 16.5. Clemson.
That's hell of a.
I'll take Clemson.
I can't bet 16.5. I can't do that. If we did money line, I'd bet money line, but I can't bet 16.5.
Well, that's a worse bet. You're picking App State. You've already done that.
I think App State's going to beat us. No, I'm not going to bet you, but I swear to God, it makes me sad to think that. I mean, really, it does. It's frustrating because I think Clemson should be the better team.
Well, they are the better team. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Clemson has to cover
Okay.
those points. Yeah.
I think we're gonna lose. I really do.
Well, you think you first of all you picked Clemson to beat Georgia when nobody else did, and now you've got us losing to App State.
Nobody else did, huh?
Look, once you see the team and you see the reticence and the receivers quitting on their damn routes and shit, I'm not sure. I don't think that App State's far off from winning it.
You don't think that App State's far off from Georgia?
I don't think Clemson will get over the hangover. I really don't.
Okay.
I hope they do, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to lose. They're going to lose. They're going to have this Georgia game beat them twice.
So you think they're not making a bowl then? You don't think Clemson's making a bowl?
Look, listen, Rex, I said that Clemson this year will be lucky to make 5 wins.
What? Bro.
I think you're as bad as Florida State because you said the exact same thing about Florida State.
Yeah.
Florida State ain't getting it either.
I know, but you picked them to win 5. So you think Clemson is just as bad as Florida State?
It's close.
Oh my God.
We're saying hold my beer. It's like Clemson's saying hold my beer.
Dude, Georgia broke Slaw.
Slaw, man.
I've got a number for you to call after this, Slaw.
They say hold my beer is what they say.
Is it a 1-800 number? I'm sure it is.
I want a 1-4. What is the other one? Give me a different
No,
one.
it's only 3 numbers, 9-1.
So I want to ask Slaw this: what team would Clemson be a 2-score favorite against if you're going to get beat by App State?
It's a good question.
Okay. Well, maybe Wake. Well, I don't know. Hell, one of these little drinky-dink teams, you know, like Duke, Wake,
Houston A&M, Texas State, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What about the ones that are actually on Clemson's schedule though? So you've got them in order to let's break this down mathematically. In order for Clemson to only win 5 games, who do they have to lose to then? So you're saying they're going to lose to Virginia Tech, they're going to lose to Florida State, they're going to lose to NC State, they're going to lose to Louisville,
South Carolina,
App State.
Yep. They're going to lose South Carolina. They are.
Oh man.
Keep moving.
Dude, if y'all lose to a quarterback with goggles, you'll never hear the end of it.
Clemson has a weak schedule. I don't know. I mean,
It's not that Clemson has a weak team. Clemson is a weak team. Has nothing
they
to
play Georgia to start the game out. They play one of the better Group of 5 teams, and they play 4 out of the 5 best teams in the ACC. So I don't know how that's a weak schedule.
I'm not saying it's a weak schedule. I'm saying
I'm talking about
Clemson's weak.
there's a guy in the chat saying Clemson has a weak schedule.
He's full of shit. He don't know nothing.
Clemson's one of the few teams in the ACC that doesn't have a weak schedule this year.
Right.
No, but here's the point. If you can't, seriously, if you can't field an offense and make, you know what I mean, make plays and learn
Slaw,
to,
are y'all going to beat or lose to Florida State?
oh God, it's 50-50.
Oh my
Who
God.
knows? I mean, Jesus Christ. Look, Florida State is like a box of chocolates, and so is Clemson.
No, they're really bad.
You're saying they're like a box of turds, is what you're saying.
Clemson and Florida State. Yes.
Okay.
Both of them.
I've still got Clemson winning 9 or 10 games easily. Not easily, but confidently.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Clemson runs the rest of their schedule unscathed.
It's possible.
I pray to God that I pray you're right, Pete. I pray you're right.
this is the last thing I'll say about, like, yeah, everyone's bagging on Clemson because they're not what they were with Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. Like, they're not an awful team, though. Like, they're still one of the better. They're a top 3 team in the ACC, I think, clearly.
Yeah, I agree.
This is why the ACC sucks. Because if that's true, then we suck.
Well, I'd hate to watch a game with Paul. I don't know if I could do it.
Listen, ACC isn't that good. If Clemson,
If Clemson's playing in Miami, I would love to watch a game with Paul.
I don't think I could watch it. I don't even think I'd want to watch the App State game with him.
Yeah, it's not like he's cutting a diss track on Clemson. The Slaw LP.
He's ready to fire everybody. Somebody's phone's ringing, by the way. Paul's ready to fire the entire Dabo, the whole coach. He wants to just clean house and start over from the ground up.
Like administration too.
Yeah, just fuck all of them.
Yeah.
AD,
I mean,
everybody.
Listen, why Graham Neff, a Georgia Tech motherfucker, AD?
What?
Say that. Why is he here?
Why am I here?
Why is it Graham Neff's fault that they lost to Georgia? Explain that to me.
It's only his fault if he holds Dabo around. That's my question. Why is he holding him around?
Why is he holding him around?
Well,
Is that a
he's
serious
AD.
question? I feel like I'm in a twilight zone right now.
He should fire Graham. Graham Neff, if he has
Somebody
any
take away
balls
Grandpa's
at
phone.
all,
I mean,
he should fire Dabo.
yeah, that's not happening.
I
Who do you
but
want
that's
over
because
Dabo?
He's a pussy. He won't do it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who do you want?
Who do I want as a coach?
That's realistic for you to hire.
Yeah.
Like,
Who
you're not
do I
going to
want?
hire Kirby from Georgia or something.
No. I mean, look, there. Rich Rodriguez, Jimbo.
Rich
Fisher,
Rodriguez? Jesus fucking
Billy
Christ.
Napier.
Now you really have jumped the shark now at this point, dude.
No, I'm joking. I'm
All right.
kidding. But at the same time, I'm saying they need to do something different. That's all.
Just
They go-
fire him and figure it
Dabo-
out later.
Yeah.
Look, Dabo's going to have to change a lot. A lot. And is he going to change a lot? No. They're going to have to change.
One thing you can't argue anymore is they are running the Clemson offense, not the Garrett Riley offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course. Why not? Whatever that is. But no, I'm just saying they need to get serious. When I say they, Clemson needs to get serious. And you can't sit here and let this go. But after we lose Appalachian State, it'll become clear.
Yeah. All right. So when they don't lose to Appalachian State, then what?
Well, are they going to lose by? Are they going to win by 3? Let's be clear. I mean, maybe not lose, but they ain't gonna win big. Appalachian State's good, and they're not a bad team.
Paul, you want Bobby Bowden back? I mean Tommy Bowden, not Bobby Bowden. Tommy Bowden.
No, Tammy. Tammy. No, I don't want Tammy. I don't want Tammy back.
Hey, we'll dig up Gene Chiswick and give him to you. He may get you, hey, Matty.
Oh,
Who was it? Somebody the other day, I forget who it was, said Dan Mullen. Yeah, he's looking for a job. You want Dan Mullen in Clemson?
Rich
Hey,
Rodriguez.
we'll go from one extreme to the other. We'll send you Bobby Petrino from Arkansas.
God damn.
Winner, dude.
Let's do Rich Rodriguez. Let's do that.
What about the what's his face? The Georgia Tech coach from last year, 2 years ago.
Hire Jeff Collins.
Yeah, Jeff
please.
Collins. Yeah.
He can talk about dapping and how much he loves doing it.
No.
I mean, he'll do all the things you want him to do. He'll use the transfer portal.
Who was the guy that did the triple option? We should break.
Yeah,
him
hire
down.
Paul Johnson.
Oh yeah, Paul Johnson. Yeah.
Johnson.
Hey, fuck that. Hire Dion.
Yeah, Dion. Well, yeah, Jimbo Fisher. That's another good one. Yeah, Jimbo.
Just hire all these guys and put them on your
Jesus.
staff.
Jesus fuck.
Oh man.
Jimbo Fisher. Wouldn't that be something?
You wouldn't have to pay him much. He's making $37,000 a day or something.
You know what? You know what? To be clear,
Hire Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer will come coach Clemson.
Yeah, he might actually.
Listen, I'll joke about all this stuff. I think that sometimes you have to let people. I'm not saying Garrett Riley's God. I'm not saying that. But it would be great to have somebody fresh like Garrett Riley. Just run it. Just let him run it.
Let Garrett Riley be the head coach at Clemson?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I can't even.
I actually like that idea. Fire a coach with two natties
to bed.
for your OC.
Hell, we let a fucking wide receivers coach become the head coach.
Hey, here's what you do. You hire Ed Orgeron, Jimbo Fisher, Gene Chizik, and Mac Brown, and you get all these guys with natties, you're bound to win another one.
I don't think that Garrett Riley isn't as qualified as Dabo was when he got it. So, to be honest.
Yeah, except for the Dabo is qualified. He's been there for almost 20 years.
No, but
But you're comparing him to Dabo before, though, which kind of makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I think he's more qualified than Dabo was when he got the job.
Yeah, I mean, come on, stop, man.
Pete. But that's like saying if I take away everything great about you, you're shitty. Like, of course, by definition.
Garrett's look, and look. I'm not saying Dabo's great, but Dabo
obviously.
Yeah, no kidding.
The question is does Garrett Riley have the same kahunas as Dabo does? And when I say that, I mean, can he be as damn ruthless and cutthroat?
I don't think there's a single Power 4 team out there right now that would hire Garrett Riley as their head coach. Not one. So why would Clemson do it?
Listen.
I've been listening, and what I'm hearing is bullshit.
They wouldn't have done that. Do you think they would have done that with Dabo?
See, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Before, like it worked for Clemson. So you're saying roll the die. You're saying like put all my money on Red 18 again the second time.
Yeah. But here's the thing. My biggest issue, and I always argue this.
Then go with another wide receiver coach. Hire Brian Hartline.
Well, wide receiver coaches aren't the moniker ain't going to solve it. The problem is you need people who have no. Here's what you need. People who have tenacity and meanness. I mean, when I say meanness, I don't mean like killing people, but you know what I mean. And tenacity, and they don't give a fuck, and they'll fire people, and they'll hire.
Will Muschamp or Ron Brooks.
Dave Dorn is tenacious and mean. So.
Do you know how many coordinators Clemson's fired in the past 3 years? All of them. Well, Brent Venables left.
No,
but you are so off the deep end. I can't even wrap my head around it anymore. This is insane. Everything that you're saying is insane.
We haven't fired him.
You want to turn into Florida or Miami for the past 20 years, based on what you're saying. That's what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm good with that. Mostly because they're going to get there. We're going to sit here and wallow in this bullshit.
You're the one wallowing in it. You're the one wallowing in it. Thank you for the super chat, Caden. Get the Ohio State man on the show. Ohio State man can call into the call-in show tomorrow night at 10 p.m. I'll be happy to take his call.
Sorry, Ohio State man.
Yeah.
Clemson doesn't understand that they have to do something completely different. They do. They have to. And look, I'm sorry. I don't hate.
I think you're massively overreacting, like by a lot.
I think you're being protective.
I'm not being protective of anything. I mean, just look around the country.
You're over here going, I'm overreacting. Look, every time
you're talking about firing Dabo Swinney and hiring Garrett Riley to run the program. I'm protecting.
He's done.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
He is done. Let's move on. time to move on.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, what's the next topic?
Yeah. Well, there is no other time. That's the end of the games there.
Bye. All right.
So
Whatever.
Did he leave?
I don't know. Did he?
Grandpa went to bed.
Yeah, he did.
Clemson's been our rival forever. I don't think I've ever trashed Clemson like that the whole time.
He's out of his mind, man. I mean, I get if you're not happy with some of the things that Dabo's done, but just to be like, it's time to fire him. First of all, that's not happening. They couldn't afford to. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't afford to. His buyout is like $80 million. Clemson doesn't have Texas A&M type of money. Not even close. And not only that, he's not anywhere even close to the hot seat. So that's not happening. The only way that Dabo Swinney, and I've been saying this for years, the only way that he's not going to be the head coach for the next year and the year after that and the year after that and the year after that is if he decides to leave. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility if you listen to some of his interviews.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where else he would go, though. I mean, I guess he could just retire, but he's only like 53 years old. And I think he really loves what he...
He'll end up back coaching high school football.
Yeah.
He don't need the money.
I think he likes where he is. I think he likes what he's doing. I think he likes being the head of the program there. I'd be surprised. I mean, maybe there'll be some pressure put on him at some point if it continues to sort of muddle around the way they've done the past couple of years. But it's not like they're out there winning 6 and 7 games in a year and struggling to make a bowl game or anything. It's not even close to that. People like Paul are just.
Well, to be fair, we say it all the time. When coaches start lashing out at the fan base, it's kind of a sign of the end, and that is what Dabo's kind of been doing the past couple of years.
The coaches that do that are usually going 3-9 or 4-8.
Yeah.
In conjunction with it.
Oh, I understand that.
It's one thing to disagree with a coach's stance. Everyone goes back to the transfer portal. I think pretty much everybody thinks and believes that he could handle that situation better, to better the program year in and year out. But there's still a massive overreaction to the quality of program and quality of team that Clemson puts on the field every year. He's not anywhere close to being fired status. He's just not.
What would you say Clemson's defenses would be ranked nationally? Are they a top 10 national?
I think so, yeah.
I agree.
And they were last year, too. So.
This took a turn.
Anyway, it is 9 o'clock. That's gonna do it for the ACC show.
And this is why you should always tune into the ACC show, because you get great shit like this.
Yeah. It's going to take me a good hour after the show's over to even comprehend some of the things I heard on here tonight.
Can't find no SEC show on the internet quite that good.
Like an M. Night Shyamalan film, you got to watch it twice to really see where that was going.
Yeah. All right, guys. Rec Talk and Slim Shady, I do appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing and fantastic.
Yeah, for toodles.
All right, toodles. All right, Sea-Dog, we did it, buddy.
Hell yeah, man.
Another show in the books. Next time, the graphics man can send me the graphics a little bit earlier, and I'll make sure I have them up for the people.
Gotcha.
All right. But thanks for doing that anyway.
No problem.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
I'll see you next week.
All right. All right, that's going to do it for me as well, guys. Thank you to all the people that tuned in tonight and supported the show like you always do each and every single week. We'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the same thing. We'll have some more upsets to talk about. Hopefully it's not your team that gets upset. But hey, we like to talk about upsets. I'll be back tomorrow morning and Friday morning at 11 a.m. on my second channel for the midday show, and tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for the college football call-in show. So looking forward to that. Everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.